here is you can decompose organic pollutant at a faster rate using photocatalysis reaction by having SmartCoat coated surface. The similar wood we have tried also for bacterial purpose. So we want to see whether it can actually kill bacteria, and we did an agar test and we noticed there is a Hindenburg zone, and we also use a Kikimon device where it can detect bacteria count. So we did a swab test on the particular wood and we noticed the count of bacteria dropped from 475 to 131. So a particular surface which is coated can be free from bacteria. At the same time, it also can decompose organic pollutants. This is done by one of the wood companies in Malaysia. Let me share with you the awards. The first one is NRIC. It's a National Research Innovation Competition in Malaysia, and we have actually got a gold medal for that. The next one is British Invention Show, which is one of the largest invention show in United Kingdom, and we actually got 2 gold medals, one under consumer categories and another one we got under industrial categories. The third one is Kiwi. It's a Korea invention exhibition, and we have got silver medal for that. And the fourth one lately we have got in Malaysian Technology Expo, where we actually won a gold medal. So what we can see here, not only internally we are recognized, even internationally we have obtained awards to recognize such an invention. Okay, we have shared with you the benefit of SmartCoat. Now let's look at what is the important criteria that you should keep in mind to make sure the SmartCoat work effectively. Firstly is the air circulation in the building. Make sure the air movement is there so that the frequency of contact of the air with the reactants is high. Therefore, you can clean the air very fast. Second thing is the light intensity. The higher the intensity, the faster you can actually kill the bacteria or decompose the organic pollutants. There are several other issues that you must keep in mind to make sure SmartCoat work effectively. And we don't want to take a blame end of the day if you don't keep up to your work as what we have specified. Firstly, do not modify or dilute the SmartCoat. If you do that, you will actually coagulate the SmartCoat and it become inactive. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, should not scratch the surface which have been treated with SmartCoat, because it eventually will peel off the coating that we have. Another thing is, do not polish them, because you will eventually get rid of the roughness of the surface where the SmartCoat is embedded inside. And fourthly, you should not apply on the wet surface. So before you apply the SmartCoat, make sure the surface is dry, and not only dry, it is actually cleaned very well and is free from dust or any stains on it. We don't want a case where you spray on dust or stains, and where this particular thing goes off, the SmartCoat will lift off easily from the surface. Lastly is, make sure you have a light. Do not complain that it doesn't work in the dark environment. As I told you, photocatalyst is a material which only will work under light. So make sure you have a good light intensity to make SmartCoat work better. Now look at what are the frequently asked questions by the customers, and I will share with you since I'm not there. So firstly is, what is the absorption property of SmartCoat? As I told you, SmartCoat is about 2 to 3 nanometers, and any smooth surface will have about 10 nanometer roughness. So when you spray using electrostatic gun sprayer, it will actually atomize and embed into a surface. So definitely the absorption power of this particular SmartCoat upon spraying is very high, and it dries firmly upon spraying. All you got to make sure is use a proper device. Especially recommended is electrostatic spraying gun. The second common question they ask us is, can SmartCoat degrade on the paint, and can it change the color of the paint? No, you don't got to worry anything about that. As I told you, 2 to 3 nanometer, and it is transparent in nature. So when you coat any surface, it will carry the original appearance of the surface. If it is black, you will see a black appearance. If it is a white, you see a white appearance. You never will see any white patches on the paint that you have actually coated much earlier. Another famous question is, when the surface is coated with SmartCoat, is it safe to be used? And my answer is, SmartCoat is safe to be used any time of the day, because SmartCoat is a substance that causes acceleration of photocatalysis process, and it is very stable by itself, so it does not convert to another harmful product. So you can rest assured that this particular surface which is coated with SmartCoat is safe to be used any time, how long, it doesn't matter. Another question is, how long does the SmartCoat last on the surface which are washed with water? It really depends on the wear and tear of the surface. Let's say you wash it very often and you have using a leaching products, very heavily leaching products, then the surface will last for shorter time, at least 1 year. If you just doing a normal cleaning, the surface should last about 2 years. Another famous question is there any specific way we have to use to clean the surface that has been coated with SmartCoat? My answer is no. You can just follow the common procedures that you've been using all this while to clean the surface. Why am I saying this? Because it is embedded very well into the surface. As long as we don't scratch it or peel this surface, then the SmartCoat going to be there to function when you turn on the light. And if you see here, all we want to suggest or avoid is, don't use any heavy leaching compound where you actually lift up the roughness of the surface. That's very important to take into considerations. Another question that people ask is, can we coat on the surface that have been coated with SmartCoat with paint? My answer is no. Do not do this, because once you do the painting on a SmartCoat, the SmartCoat layer become inactive because they cannot receive enough energy to split into electron hole and do the photocatalytic reactions. So my advice is, if you want to use any modification on the surface, it has to be prior to SmartCoat application and not after SmartCoat applications. Another question is, after the working lifetime of the SmartCoat, does there will be any coating remains? If so, do we need to remove it before painting the wall? You don't have to do anything. SmartCoat is a harmless substance and you can just coat on top of it, and you don't have to do any special procedure to remove them before you paint again. Well, if you still insist want to remove the SmartCoat, is it possible? Yes, it is possible. All you got to do is, you have to peel off the surface to remove the roughness, or you polish the surface become smooth. By doing that, it's possible to remove a SmartCoat. What are the content of SmartCoat? Very simple. As I told you much earlier, titanium dioxide, which is in nanoscale, is the active ingredient of SmartCoat. Next is, what are the certificates we have got for SmartCoat? Well, SmartCoat already passed the European Union standards last year, and the European distributors are working very hardly to get approval from EU. There's also some questions where they say, if you spray SmartCoat on cloth, how many washes it lasts? To be frank with you, I don't have a direct data on this, but there are claims that after 80 washes, that it still possesses antimicrobial properties on the coated surface. Another important questions that we had is SmartCoat alone is enough for sterilizing operation theatres? Well, I would say at this point, SmartCoat with a common cleaning procedure is essential, because common cleaning procedure will make sure all the dirt and dust are not there to block the SmartCoat from work effectively when receiving the light. Another question is, how frequently need to use SmartCoat in the operation theatres? I would suggest once in a year, and that was the common procedure we apply in Malaysia. Another thing is, what are the substances or the surface that may react with SmartCoat? As you know, SmartCoat is slightly acidic, so we would suggest try to avoid any bare metals. If it's painted or it's coated with something else, then it's fine. You can go ahead, coat this with SmartCoat. Thank you very much for your attention. I believe the information given by me will be useful to you, and by taking SmartCoat into consideration to overcome your indoor air pollutants, I'm very sure we can reduce the amount of death that we are facing now, which is 2 million deaths per year. I believe SmartCoat will able to reduce the number of deaths in future. Thank you very much.